First of all, let me just welcome all of you for this first meeting of our new season. I'm delighted that we have so many participants, and I believe as the meeting goes on, the number will substantially increase. We are an Apple user group. And Apple, as we all know, is an exciting company. It will have several announcements to be made in the next few days. We're looking forward to really exciting news from Apple, new products, new models, new features, new operating systems, and the like. And I think our purpose is really to help our members better understand what Apple is doing and better understand, better work with these features. And as Apple is getting ready for the new season, I think so are we. We took 2 months off, and I noticed that how you all relaxed you are, and that you also appreciated, I think, that into the 2 months vacation. And I also know that we are all really excited and happy to be back and start a new season. It's going to be an outstanding season. We have a staff of a few people who really spend a substantial amount of time in helping us get organized and get better. You see, there's 2 of them right here. Sheila is one. She is organizing our meetings and our classes and spends an inordinate amount of time preparing for that. And she does an excellent job. And I'm pleased to see how relaxed she looks and how excited she looks. So she seems to be enjoying it. Mike from England plays several roles in our organization. He's behind the message board. He also helps members when they encounter problems. And I think he helps us during these meetings, announcing where we are, what we're going to do next, and so forth. And the person you don't see right now, but we talked to him just a few minutes ago, is Dan Orsink, who is really the main communicator who sends out all these messages, and he's really the creator of our outstanding website and helps us to be as successful as we are, and also deserves a lot of respect for helping us improve our interaction.
I'm at 100%.
You see, I will mute all again. So, well, I'm delighted that that this organization exists, and I think we're all looking forward to a wonderful season. But let's get started. I will pass the baton to Mike and to introduce Sheeta and tell us more about this meeting and what's going to happen within the next few weeks. Thank you. Thank you very much,
Eckhart. So before I share my screen with you, I have to share something really special with you. A very, very dear friend of ours recently purchased a 5-figure sewing machine. It's the most expensive sewing machine on the planet. And she phoned me up and said, I need things to stitch, to embroider. Send me a logo. Look.
How nice.
This is a limited edition. 1 copy only exists on the planet. So let me just share my screen for a moment. And a very small number of announcements actually before we pass the meeting over to Christian. First of all, just a reminder to everybody, just like last season, George Brooks came up with this brilliant idea, and that was to create a new entry on our message board for each and every meeting that we run, so that if you have comments or if you have questions specifically about today's meeting, if you go to the message board, you'll find there's a thread waiting for your entry. So please use it. It's only there to make things tidy and easy to find, but it's ready and waiting if you want to visit. You probably all already know this about this season, but as a security measure, we're introducing new Zoom links for each and every meeting. So please don't make the mistake of copying the link that you used to join us today, expecting it to work next week, because it won't. You'll receive the links by the usual methods. They'll appear in your mailbox at least once, I think twice. Certainly the current one appeared in my mailbox twice. And you can always pick it up from the NMUG website. So please don't forget that, because if you try and use an old link, you'll be disappointed and you'll end up arriving late, and we don't want that to happen. Eckhart has already mentioned this absolutely sterling work that Sheeta has put in to create this season's program. And these are some of the faces that will be participating between now and Christmas. Most of them familiar, one or two not, and I can't wait to hear them all speaking. Next week, Dan is taking the baton, and he's going to be talking about Safari. I assume, Dan, specifically Safari or just general browser tips? Not sure, but
specifically Safari, because that's what I use and recommend. So
I thought that was probably the case. Thank you very much. So this should be relevant for absolutely every single one of our members, and we obviously hope that you'll join us next week. I'm absolutely delighted that Christian is running our first meeting of the year, and look forward very much indeed to what he has to say. But before we introduce him, I'm just going to stop my share and introduce Sheeta, who will just talk about her job as moderator. All yours, Sheeta. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. In case you don't know me, I'm Sheeta Hunter, and I am, oh God, how many hats? Chef, cook, bottle washer, all those things. Thank you for joining us again today. We're happy to start our new season. Oh, excuse me. As questions go, please put them in the chat. We will get to them at the appropriate time, because we're going to have a dedicated Q&A at the end of Christian's presentation. If it's a burning question, put it in the chat, and maybe I can stop Christian to ask it if I feel it needs to be asked. But please put your questions in the chat. We want to hear from you today. Please enjoy. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to the man who is going to be the presenter of the meeting, the first meeting of every month. So we're going to spend a lot of time with Christian this year. We are very excited about that. So with that, let's hand it over to Christian, and let's welcome Christian. And Christian, thank you so much for being here with us.
Okay, well, you're very welcome, and thank you for having me. And I am very happy to be here today, and I'm also really happy that I'll be here the first Wednesday of every month for the whole season. It's just great. It's just so nice for me. So everybody, just remember what Sheeta said. If you've got questions, get them in the chat. It makes the day go better. All right, so you might wonder why I'm here doing this instead of somebody else. And all I do is teach people how to use their Macs and their iPhones better. Now, on occasion, they get into trouble and they hire me to get them out of trouble when things don't go right. But mostly what I do is I teach people how to do things. And so that's what I'm going to do today. And today I'm going to teach you about utilities. So here we go. And the way I like to do things, I hope we see the big blue screen here with Mac and iPhone utilities on it. Is it there?
We do.
Good.
Yes,
Okay, good. All right. So the way we like to do things over here is I like to give you a little bit of a slideshow, and then I do a few things live. And of course, sometimes they break when we do things live. Sometimes I fall off the tightrope, but I think that makes it more exciting. So we don't just do canned stuff here. We do it live. So that's what we're going to do today. All right. So utilities. What about utilities? Well, first of all, what is a utility? What are we talking about? Well, it's not exactly well defined. It sounds boring. I mean, utilities, it sounds like your water bill or something, but garbage. But Apple gives you a folder full of utilities. Okay, they give you the utilities folder. And in case you haven't looked in there, you should look. And these are these things that are in there. All of those things that you see in this picture are standard things. Apple gives everybody one of these, one of each of those. And most people never use any of them. But there are other utilities that are, we're going to talk about more today. And that doesn't mean that these things aren't important, and you should sort of get to know these. And in case you wonder where they are, in the Finder, you can go to the Go menu and go down to Utilities, and there they are. Great keyboard shortcut, Command-Shift-U. And they're sort of hidden away inside the Applications folder too. So in the Applications, you find the Utilities, and there you go. So there's that kind of utility. Utilities that do, utilities that Apple gives you to do computer things. And in fact, that's really one half of the definition. To me, utilities are apps that either do computer stuff that you wouldn't have to do if you didn't have a computer, like backups and disk formatting and malware eradication and programming tools, things like that. And those are all important things. But the more interesting stuff are little programs, little apps that help you to do other stuff that you really want to do. And they help you to do those things better. And that's really what we're going to focus on today, are these little things that you can add to your Mac or add to your iPhone to make your experience better. So it turns out that there are an awful lot more Mac utilities than there are iPhone utilities. And this is really due to the nature of the Mac being a more open system. The iPhone being rather locked down doesn't give you as much flexibility in terms of changing the way things work.